It's raining, so I'm gonna make sure that my window is closed, which it's not, and that my food is gonna be not, soaking wet. What up, Crow? Thank you for the resub. I don't have great camera angles in every direction here. But that's okay. This is a test setup. Setup test. Oh, I got an email back from these guys at work. Oh, yeah, okay. Exactly. I got food arriving soon, and I'm gonna break at that point, but I'll probably be back on later. This is a proof of concept, and I think it was pretty well proved. To myself, anyway. I'm gonna watch it later. Maybe. Ooh, this next track is a great one. Oh yeah? Sounds chill. Just... well, you know... I may have given, well, anyway, whatever. I'll talk about it later. This track is good, too good to talk over any more than I already am. Starting now. Oh, that's funny. The text is flipped. Because the footage might be flipped. Right. Sorry, I was gonna start talking about Yarn, but then my phone camera stopped working. For some reason, even though it's working over in Elgato Camera Hub. Chimera Hub. Whatever. That's a good question. That is a good question, and I have some answers. Anyway, so there are many cool yarns. Hang on, what the fuck? I guess there's just not a good, I would love to answer that question. In detail. Okay, my dasher is arriving soon. So, I will assemble my yarns and get my food. And be right back. Alright, yarns. Alright, new strat. Motherfucker. Okay. I'll leave it like that for the moment. Whoops. Don't worry about that. Whoop. Spooky. Alright. Let me eat some of this and gather up some yarn. There are a lot of cool yarns to talk about, starting with this one that I'm making this thing with. I was actually wondering if I still had the label for it. I think I do, probably in this bag, which you cannot see at the moment. But anyway, let me start to eat food. One of these babies. Bobbis. I forgot. I ordered a large bowl this time. It's so deep. Okay, baby. Too expensive to order. Not good to do as often as I do it financially. But I give good tips. Anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna eat some more of this and gather up some yarns. Like I keep saying I will. Welcome back, and sorry to hear that. In reverse order. Got a few yarns to talk about in a moment. Well, I don't really know anything about Warhammer either. Why are people sending them to you? Eh? Maybe you're cultivating a group of people who love Warhammer, and you don't even know it. That's Poke. Is Poke the same as a mukbang? I don't know much about mukbang. Or anything, really. Why does it mean that? Anyway, yeah. I've been eating on stream a lot recently, but sort of self-conscious about it. Not necessarily like I'm gonna... like I'm embarrassed, but like... I don't know if people want to watch me eating, or if people do want to watch me eating, maybe I don't want them to watch me eating. Anyway, that's why I've been FoodTuber. That's why I've been doing it off camera this time. You can tell I'm eating, but you don't get to see the whole process. Where'd my Sody Pop go? Going well until I lost my Sody Pop. One sec. I said I found it. Alright. So. So. Well, my mic is picking up. Yeah, not that much. Yarn. And today. Today's good. I woke up at like 5 a.m. 5:30, which is pretty standard for me nowadays. Oh, we'll get to that. Right. Yar. My niece, one of my little cousins, I should say, because they are... Anyway. Keep saying noir for no. I'm sure that's from a number, or in a number of things, but it reminds me of my own childhood. And maybe yar something? Anyway. So, today. Yeah, woke up around 5:30, pretty normal nowadays. I've been staying up a little later recently, like past midnight, like I used to do all the time. But so far it hasn't caused me to sleep in like I used to all the time. I've been playing up late, past like 1 or 2 a.m. even, playing Slay the Spire badly, poorly. Anyway. But yeah, I woke up early anyway, had some coffee, actually made a whole pot of coffee and poured a bunch of it in here to you know, try out the insulated bottle lifestyle, and it's been fine, but actually I had a headache all day. And for stupid reasons, I think every headache is a caffeine headache, even though that's not something I even learned. It's a mild one. Not something I learned existed until a few years ago when my friend started telling me he had them all the time. Anyway. So I don't think it was a caffeine headache because I drank, like... There's a little left in here, but I drank a mug before, so probably about this much coffee, which is 22... something ounces. Fluid ounces, probably, maybe. Or maybe it's 22 liters. Who knows? Anyway, now I'm having food. I forgot what else I said. Who cares? Yarn. So, the very first thing I did when I picked up knitting was using some yarn that my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, Ash, had. He gave me a little tin. Still have it sitting around somewhere. With a bunch of crap in it, including a few needles and such, and it had some cool yarn. Just about enough to make this. It's a little short for a scarf, but you know. The cool thing about big chunky yarn is that it's really easy to work with, and it feels cool, and you can see it. See all its little knots with this rainbow yarn. So that's cool. Big chunky. On the subject of big chunky, this is some big chunky stuff. Oh hell yeah. And I think I was just using it to make a sample. I don't think there's anything much of it on here right now. I have some other chunky samples. Let me see. That have more in them. Alright. I heard a text message. Here's another chunky yarn, not as chunky as this one, but fairly chunky and easy to work with as a result. You can see these, oops, okay, the camera's all over here. I had this 2-camera setup and now I'm forgetting how the regular setup works, which is just a camera. Anyway, yeah, so this is me just trying out some pattern with like, just a regular rib stitch, probably. Maybe something else. Oh, I tried to do a fancy cast on where the initial stitches are like varied, so it matches the switch ups on the pattern as opposed to a regular cast on, which produces let's see. I guess both ends are pretty similar. I don't know if it's exactly the same with the normal cast on and the normal cast off, but you can see these stitches are, I don't know, like kind of smooth and regular versus this end of the row, which, I don't know if it really comes across. Trust me, it's cast on differently. But anyway, there's lots of cool yarns. Oh, I didn't even talk about this one yet. This is my top priority project. We got more spooky music. It's a headband in planning, actually. Don't leave. Oh shit. Sounds like my friend's coming over. Okay, this thing's a mess. This yarn is very cool. I'm probably just gonna restart whatever the fuck is... Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, it looks like I was starting to make a attempt to make a recovery line. Oops. Is there a needle on there? Not sure. It doesn't matter. This is the start of what would become I forgot about the one I'm currently working on again. It's very recent. I've thought about it as a hobby to take up for a while, just one of a number of things. Just, I always liked crafting type stuff and doing shit with hands, and it looked cool and like a good way to, you know, both kill time, but also like do fancy cool stuff with patterns and shit. Potentially, yeah, you know, lots of opportunity there, especially to potentially give me more time to watch stuff, because, you know, a lot of people think that like movies and TV shows are good, and I usually like them when I watch them, but I usually don't want to watch them because I'd rather do something. But the idea is knitting, watching stuff is much more, is compatible, so I can watch more stuff like One Piece or whatever I'm supposed to be catching up on. Anyway, so the abortive thing I was starting to show you would have been the beginning of one of these pot holders. This one was made of a different yarn, which I probably have more of around here somewhere, but you can see it rapidly changes colors, and this pattern is interesting because it starts with this. The starting edge is actually... Oh, let me finish answering that other question. Yeah, so it's always seemed like a good prospect, and I just decided to, you know, attempt to go for it. I think I probably asked Ash, along with other people, if he had any knitting stuff, and she was like, oh yeah, I have some knitting stuff that nobody uses, so take all this. And then I got some more stuff, and, you know, that was fun. I got all kinds of fancy supplies, and that's always fun, blah blah blah. But I've been steadily working on it. You know, the fear is always that one's gonna start up a hobby but then drop it, especially after investing money, but I was never worried about that, due to my extremely wise and developed knowledge of myself. I mean, I drop a lot of things, but I was pretty confident I could keep on knitting. Ooh, this is a great one. Go cannot connect to chat. Oh, that's an old ad. Sorry, you said that in chat a while ago, but I just saw the Discord notification for some reason. That was from 15 minutes ago. Anyway. Yeah, so it was something I was thinking about for a long time, and I just started, you know, poking into it. and got some starting supplies, and got some more supplies for cheap, and so on. And that was just a few months ago. I've just been slowly working on these things. You saw you've seen 2 completed projects now. Well, the rainbow scarf was completed out of necessity because it ran out of yarn, kind of short, but anyway, it still counts. And then this guy, I made another pot holder before this one, which was less good, but you know, it was a first try. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in one of these bags. The current thing I'm working on, my top priority project, is intended to be a headband. And in fact, it's right around 16 inches currently, and I'm supposed to stop when it just about fits around my head, which is around 21 inches, at least from my rough attempts to measure it with the tape measure. So 16 out of 21 inches. I haven't measured the pace, but when I'm working on it actively, I get a lot done. Oh, but anyway, so that's what the project is, but the yarn is interestingly this yarn, although it's decently thick. I mean, it's not thinner than I guess the difference is it squishes down. So it's a lot poofier because it looks like just a little thinner than this type, but it actually is classified as a much thinner yarn and is told to use smaller needles, and I guess that makes sense because it's poofy, like a fluffy cat. So, you know, it's actually thinner than it, in effect, it's thinner than it looks. And that makes, so the yarn itself is soft due to that, but also this stitch that I'm using for the first time. In fact, let me bring this up. I'm gonna retweet my own tweet. Post. Okay, sheep and stitch, twisty headband. The pot holder is actual wool or cotton, or it's not synthetic. It's either cotton or wool. But for the purpose of a pot holder, you're explicitly told to avoid synthetics because they tend to melt they tend to melt at high temperatures, which is not what you want in a pot holder. Probably. So here's the oh, so this stuff is probably synthetic. I think all of well, you can't see it. Oh, it's not showing, it's not rendering this window anymore. Wait, no. Oh, wait. Okay, right. Now it is. The name did update. Anyway. So this, This is how it's gonna end up. This is like just how the ends are joined, which is cool. Let me, oops, shit. I thought my mouse on the stream was my mouse on OBS, but it wasn't. Yeah. Oh. Okay, so this folding process at the end is what makes that cool twist. But also this double stockinette stitch. This is the first time I'm doing this stitch, and it is different than other stitches I've done before. It is very simple. This isn't gonna mean anything to you, but wait, no, this is fisherman's rib. Never mind. This is the hard one. Double stockinette. Okay, yeah. See, this one's so short, I skipped it. I think I heard my name. Package, maybe? Oh, wait. No, Abby. That must be Abby. One sec. Hello? No, it was my friend. He brought me a gift from Santa. Staring directly into the camera looks weird. I'm not gonna well, I don't know what it is. It's got batteries, probably. Or he reused a box that was used for batteries. But it's a big box. It's not just a battery. Whoa. Oh, shit! Damn. Are you kidding me? Holy shit. I did not expect that. Well, looky what Santa brought us. God damn. Holy shit. Let me text him to say that. Holy shit, I texted him. Nice. Well. Let me finish talking about yarns. And then I'll wrap up the stream. Alright, sorry. So, yeah, this yarn is cool. I'm gonna use it to make one of those pot holders, probably. You can see the way it changes color, it makes cool streaks. And when you see the beginning of the pot holder, so the way this pattern works is it, hold on. Is the beginning row is actually this whole, is two edges. Let me pull up the completed one. Pull up. So this, it's a big chevron thing. You actually start the initial cast on, the initial row that you knit is actually this. I'm gonna flip this to make this easier for me to do. Not bad. Okay. Now it's a mirror. Alright, so this edge, this whole edge is the first row, and as you go along, every other row you do what's called a decrease, and along this, what turns out to be this middle line, you're basically removing one stitch on each side of the middle every other row, so it goes down by one stitch per row and aggregate, and it causes it to bend into this series of chevrons to make a diamond, basically, which is actually a square rotated. And then you use the end, when you shrink the row down to the last 2 stitches, you just keep doing a long tail, and then you loop it around and tie it into a little hanging hook, which is turned out a little messy on this one, but that's fine. Anyway, yeah, so this yarn should be cool. It's the same kind of yarn, basically, and it is also real, probably cotton. And it'll look cool. Especially because the way the phasing, right? So it has these stripes. It fades from brown to white and jumps back, I think. But since this pattern will have the rows, right, are shorter, and the rows are this way, and they are shorter and shorter, so that the patterns of those stripes wrapping around and being next to each other will change over the course of the pot holder. I think it'll be cool. But I fucked it up and I put it on break. So I think I'll just restart that. I was like, I should try to save it and but no, at this point it'll be way faster to restart it. And same kind of yarn. I was eyeing a whole bunch of yarns from this collection because they look so cool. This one is fucking candy cane. Christmas ass. I should make some people some shit with it before Christmas. I might have a small sample swatch I made with it, but yeah, I mean, you can see it's, it's white with sprinkles of green and red. Exactly. Candy cane. Or candy canes are like just what are some of the candies that have flakes of green and red? It's those. Other yarns. So this is, oh yes, let me just get to these spice drops. I don't know them by that name. So this is bound to be a hat. It's been on break for a long time. Oh, it is also knit with circular needles. So these needles there's a big tube connecting them. So it's one long thingy with needles on both ends, and you use it to knit circles. And so this is going to be a hat. Once it gets a little longer, it's going to start shrinking, so it tapers down to a point. However, I carelessly left a big bunch of the thread kind of loose in my bag, and it turned into an insane disaster that I spent an entire, like 8 hours or so, maybe even more, or that's how I remember it. A lot of hours. Maybe it was only 6. I think it was more though. Anyway, a lot of hours. Just sitting untangling. It was fun, which is why, I mean, not fun, but it was engaging, which is why I did it that whole time, but not necessarily the best way to deal with a tangle, and obviously something to be avoided in the first place, so I've been more careful about, oh yeah, you're right, that's a good idea. Oh, I didn't talk about... Somehow I dropped another subject before I finished talking about it. I don't know how that even happens with me. Holy shit. Damn. Thanks for the gift sub. Right, so this pattern, doesn't matter. This is a regular knit stitch, and then this means slip with yarn in front as if to purl. The details of that are not too important. Actually, let me show this off. I can finish off this row just with this front camera, because I'm not going to take the time to fucking put it overhead and shit again. Seriously, look at this. This is the setup I had to set up. This fragile ass music stand. Whatever. It was holding this webcam I'm currently waving around. So, no, I'm not going to try to do this in front of the camera at this angle over my food. However, no, you should use some emotes to celebrate. Check out my cool emotes. Oops. Okay, that's fine. I'll have 2 of that one. Anyway, so this stitch, normally you know, knit or purl every stitch along the row when you work these by basically working one stitch at a time, so from one needle to the other, and then whatever. So in most stitches, especially these beginning stitches, you just do a stitch, and you stitch every stitch, right, along the row, either with the knit stitch or the purl stitch, and maybe you'll do some doubling or removing, some like reductions and increases for different patterns, but this pattern seems simpler at first because you don't even knit every stitch. You knit a stitch and then you slip a stitch, meaning you just move it right on over from one needle to the other without adding an extra knot in the mix or loop. But it turns out the effect that has is that it's like double layered compared to like all the basic stitches, because those slip stitches, it's like every 2 rows are like interlocking, like interlacing to make like a thicker row. So it actually grows in length shorter than the other stitches because each row is like 2 rows clumped together. It's cool. And what else do we got here? Oh yes. this yarn is cool. It's got cool colors. It is being used to make my other big project underway. I'd say other than the hat and now this headband, which is a reversible cable twist scarf. And it looks very cool. And you can see the twisty thing. And, actually, I'm gonna face a conundrum here. Not really a conundrum, but I'm almost at the end of this bit of yarn, and as I just showed you, I have another bowel of it, but I will need to end one string and join it to the next, which is, there are techniques to do. I actually haven't done them yet. Maybe I did one once. But with this thing, you can see what was I saying you can see? What was I saying? Oh, right. So, the colors. You can see the colors, you know, step regularly. It looks like the blue is twice as long. Well, now I can see it clearly, but there are two different shades of blue. But yeah, you can see that they change at a regular interval, so the potential issue is that when I run out of this one, which is going to end in probably this light blue phase, or maybe go into this more aqua blue, and then go into the grayer blue after. I don't know if it's going to reach that gray blue. I don't think this is enough to get through a whole section here. So anyway, where does this one start? It starts blue. It might be the exact right spot, but I doubt it. So I'm gonna have to do some figuring. In fact, I'm not gonna do it right now, but I'm actually right at a transition here. So if I start, it's a little ways back, but I should be able to approximate how far into this first blue I am, and try to get to a point in this where I'm at the same point before I combine the yarns, the strands, and continue the big scarf. Anyway, I think that's all the yarns I had in mind to talk about at the moment. The hat with the big tangle uses this yarn. It's a little chunkier than the pot holder and scarf and stuff, but actually it's I don't know, whatever. It's good. It's all good. I'm going to check out my new toy that Santa Claus gave me. Thank you for joining my stream. More later.